Joe.
This scene from Rick Riordan's The Lightning Thief is taken from Chapter 1, I Accidentally Vaporized My Pre-Algebra Teacher. Percy Jackson is a 12-year-old boarding student at Yancey Academy, a private school for troubled kids in upstate New York.
My name is Percy Jackson. Am I a troubled kid? Yeah, you could say that. I could start at any point in my short, miserable life to prove it. But things really started going bad last May when our 6th grade class took a field trip to Manhattan.
Percy's class is heading to the Metropolitan Museum of Art to look at the ancient Greek and Roman collection. There are 2 teachers on the field trip. Mr. Brunner, the Latin teacher, is leading the trip. He is a middle-aged man in a motorized wheelchair with thinning hair, a scruffy beard, and an awesome collection of Roman armor and weapons.
Mr. Brunner expects me to be as good as everybody else, despite the fact that I have dyslexia, an attention deficit disorder, and I have never made above a C in my life. No, he doesn't expect me to be as good. He expects me to be better.
The other teacher chaperone is Mrs. Dodds. She is a little math teacher from Georgia who always wears a black leather jacket, even though she is 50 years old. Mrs. Dodds came to Yancey halfway through the school year when the last math teacher had a nervous breakdown.
From her first day, Mrs. Dodds would point her crooked finger at me and say,
"Now, honey!"
real sweet, and I knew I was going to get after-school detention for a month.
Among the 28 students on the field trip are Nancy Bobofit, a freckly, red-headed bully, and Percy Jackson's best friend, Grover Underwood, a scrawny kid with acne and the start of a wispy beard on his chin.
The class is gathered on the front steps of the museum eating lunch when Nancy Bobofit dumps her half-eaten lunch in Grover's lap.
Oops!
I don't remember touching her, but the next thing I know, Nancy is sitting on her butt in the fountain, screaming.
Percy pushed me!
Mrs. Dodds materializes next to them.
Some of the kids are whispering,
Did you see?
the water.
Like it grabbed her.
I don't know what you're talking about.
As soon as Mrs. Dodds is sure Nancy's okay, Mrs. Dodds turns on Percy.
Now, honey!
I know. Month erasing workbooks.
Come with me!
Wait, it was me. I pushed her.
I don't think so, Mr. Underwood.
But
You will stay here.
It's okay, man. Thanks for trying.
Honey, now.
Percy follows her deeper into the museum. When he finally catches up to her, they are back in the Greek and Roman section.
Except for them, the gallery is empty.
You've been giving us problems, honey.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you really think you'd get away with it?
I'll try harder, ma'am.
Boom! Thunder shakes the building.
We are not fools, Percy Jackson. It was only a matter of time before we found you out. Confess and you will suffer less pain. Well?
Ma'am, I don't...
Your time is up.
Then the weirdest thing happens. Her eyes begin to glow like barbecue coals. Her fingers stretch, turning into talons. Her jacket melts into large, leathery wings. She isn't human. She is a shriveled hag with bat wings and claws and a mouth full of yellow fangs.
Then things get even stranger. Mr. Brunner, who's been out in front of the museum a minute before, wheels his chair into the doorway of the gallery, holding a pen in his hand. Tossing it to Percy, he shouts,
whoa, Percy!
Mrs. Dodds lunges at Percy.
Percy snatches the ballpoint pen out of the air, but when it hits his hand, it isn't a pen anymore. It is a sword. Mr. Brunner's bronze sword, which he always uses on tournament day.
Mrs. Dodds spins towards Percy, snarling.
Die, honey!
She flies straight at Percy. He swings the sword. The metal blade hits her shoulder and passes clean through her body as if she were made of water. Yes!
Mrs. Dodds is a sandcastle and a power fan. She explodes into yellow powder, vaporizing on the spot, leaving nothing but the smell of sulfur and a dying screech and the chill of evil in the air.
I am alone. There is a ballpoint pen in my hand. Mr. Brunner isn't there. Nobody is there but me. My hands are still trembling. But I imagine the whole thing. I go back outside. Grover is sitting by the fountain with Nancy Bobofit, still soaked from her swim in the fountain.
I hope Mrs. Kerr whipped your butt.
Who?
Our teacher, duh.
We have no teacher named Mrs. Kerr. What are you talking about? Grover, where's Mrs. Dodds?
Who?
Not funny, man. This is serious.
Boom! Thunder booms overhead.
Mr. Jackson, that would be my pen. Please bring your own writing utensil in the future.
Sir, where's Mrs. Dodds?
Who?
The other chaperone, Mrs. Dodds, the pre-algebra teacher.
Percy, there is no Mrs. Dodds on this trip. As far as I know, there has never been a Mrs. Dodds at Yancey Academy. Are you feeling all right?
Yay.